Asian pear cranberry jam is one of those really fun jams that has the tartness of the cranberries, the soft honey-like sweetness of the Asian pears, and then of course the sweetness of the sugar. So it's really nice because not only can you use it for anything that you would normally use jam for, like toast, but you could also use it for cooking your meats. And it goes good with anything from turkey to meatballs to roast. The first step is to core and peel and quarter my pears. I'll then place them in a large pot with a little bit of water on the bottom and get those pears nice and soft. I'll need 5 cups of Asian pear pulp for this recipe. Generally speaking, 1 pound of fruit equals 1 cup of pulp. I'll then add my 5 cups of pulp to a blender. I like this one really smooth. I'll then add 6 tablespoons of pectin, 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice, and 2 cups of cranberry juice. I'll then mix those well in the blender. I'll then add those to my large pot, and I'm always sure that I scrape the blender because there's a lot that will stick to the sides. And it is so pretty. Cranberry is one of those things that I just love adding. I neglected to mention that this was 100% cranberry juice. Sometimes that's kind of hard to find. This is an optional step, but I also like to add 1/2 teaspoon of butter because that will keep the foam down. I'll then place this on the stove and bring it to a rolling boil. I also need to make sure that I have 8 cups of sugar that have been pre-measured. Now that I'm at a nice rolling boil, I'll add my 8 cups of sugar. I have to mix this in pretty quickly because that sugar, well, it burns pretty easily. You can see just what a gorgeous color that makes. I'll then bring it back up to a boil. Now I can tell this is a nice rolling boil because even though I'm stirring it, it's continuing to boil. So I'll set my timer for 1 minute. This is actually a really important step to make it so that your jam sets well. I like to stir it the whole time just to keep it from burning, and it does seem to help it have not quite as much of the bubbles either. Now that the timer is up, I'll take it off the heat, and I'll add just 1/8 teaspoon of vanilla. This is just a hint of it, and it works so well with those cranberries. I'll then fill up my 1/2 pint jars to 1/4 inch of headspace. Headspace is the space from the top of the food to the top of the jar. I just really love how smooth this looks, almost like a jelly, but more opaque than that. I then use a clean damp cloth to clean off the rim of the jars, and this is just so that if there's any food stuff on the edge, it will be removed and not interfere with the seal. I then place my lids and rings on fingertip tight. And I'll process these in the boiling water bath for 10 minutes if at sea level. I'm at 1,200 feet, so I'll go for 15. Now that I've got a good steady boil going, I'll set my timer. Now that the timer's gone off, I'll remove the lid, turn off the heat, and let it cool for 5 minutes. So then I pull these out of the canner and place them anywhere from 1 to 2 inches apart so that they can cool well. I'll then leave them for 24 hours on the counter so that they can get a nice seal. Then I'll remove the ring and wash off the outside with hot soapy water and then store them in a cool, dry, dark location. And I'll eat them within the next 1 to 3 years. I love the taste testing. So the first thing I get, of course, is the sweetness. And then I get a little bit of that vanilla. And then I get the tart as it hits the back of my mouth. And it's not strong, but it's super good.